Welcome back guys, GTS Garage. So today we have a long list of things to do to the bike. So the first thing we're going to start with is something easy, kind of just warm into the day. We are going to adjust the clutch. I'm also going to get a 10mm spanner and just finish airing or bleeding the brakes, because there is some sponginess there which I discovered when I took her out the other day. Just some sponginess on the brakes which I prefer not to be there. It's nothing like going a little bit of speed and then realising actually your front brakes aren't good enough to stop the bike. So we're going to address that today. Also, I've got a new seat cover. I've got some new wraps, some new exhaust wraps coming. So I'm going to be doing something slightly different with those. I haven't got any to hand because it's all still, don't know, lying around somewhere in the garage. I've got about 15 to 20 metres of that trim. So we're going to be doing something with the tank today. The idea is to get something to bulk out that tank. Have all the metal that I need now, all the servo racks that I need now to make that happen. So with that, I think that's enough waffle. I'll see you in a bit. First job, just a quick adjustment to the clutch. Right, we should do it. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Right, next, bleeding brakes. Okay guys, not entirely happy with the brakes as they are. It's a pain. I think ultimately I'm going to have to end up taking one and making sure that the pistons move freely in the thing. You can see them move, you can see them, there just doesn't seem, I don't know. There was air in the system, I did take air in the system, I've pumped the brakes out, but you know, they feel okay now, but let's find out. The only way we do it, the only way you're going to find out is by going 10-15 mile an hour on a good straight road and then seeing if the brakes apply. We'll see, we'll see. I'm not 100% happy with the brakes. Okay, so the clutch is now done, the brakes are now done to a degree. So, with that, my seat cover's not turned up, my exhaust is not turned up, so I think we're going to crack on with the tank. So basically what I've been doing is I've been running them by putting fuel directly into the carbs. So the first thing we've got to do is actually take the tank off and set that petcock up and put the right hoses in place, and then we can test to see if fuel goes from the tank to the carbs, it fills and the floats stop. That's going to be the next test. Okay, that's it done. That is, the fuel pump is now connected. Fuel pump and the vacuum lines are now connected to the petcock, or what I like to call the petcock, or the fuel tap. Let's call it the fuel tap. I think petcock is the American version. So it's the fuel tap, and she is now ready to put some fuel in, which I don't have. So I'm going to have to go down the garage and get. So that'll be my next task. Go down and get some fuel, and then we'll see if she leaks like a sieve. Okay, and as if by magic, the fuel has now been purchased. So what I'm going to do is now roll her off the ramp, because I don't want to fill the tank with fuel, leave her on the ramp and discover that I've got a leak. So I'm going to roll her outside, I'm going to fill her up out there, or at least put a couple of litres in there and see what we get. Okay, let's see if she'll start. Fuel taps now. It wouldn't surprise me if the carbs are empty, so they will need to be primed first, I think. Let's turn her on. I will sort this out. It is on my list of things to do. Right, so I think she's empty. She would start by then. So let's start. Let's find prime and fill the carbs. Okay, so she's not starting and we're not completely convinced that there is fuel coming out of these carbs. So the best way to check is to see if there is fuel in there. So what we're going to take is a JI screwdriver, give it a couple of taps to make sure it seats right, and then we're going to undo it. If fuel comes out, the carbs have got fuel. Yep, there's fuel. Okay, so with that one tested, let's try the next one down. I don't know if you can see the next one down, but we're going to do exactly the same. Couple of taps to make sure it's seated properly, and then we're going to undo, which is there. Is there fuel? Yep, there's fuel. Okay, so both those bowls have fuel and they are the highest ones. So that's not the reason why she's not starting. Okay, so she still won't fire. Confident that fuel's getting to this part, but not confident it's getting past the fuel filter. Now, unfortunately enough, one of the quickest ways to test if fuel is getting up into the carbs is just disconnect the hose and start the bike up. If fuel comes out the hose, no reason to assume that it's not working as expected. Whilst I don't like the test, I think it's going to be the quickest and easiest way at this point to find out. And to be honest, that looks bone dry. Let's try anyway. Okay, so let's see if fuel comes out of here. Okay. Yes. Okay, so not bone dry, fuel is coming out. Okay, so she's getting fuel, she's not starting for another reason. It definitely feels like it's a fuel starvation issue though, even though I've seen fuel coming in. So my only thought is, she's not running long enough to put enough fuel in to fill the carbs up. Does that sound right? And the only way I'm going to test that is by priming them artificially almost. So I'm going to take I'm basically going to remove that fuel pipe. I'm going to fill the carbs with fuel, and when I'm confident they are full, I'm then going to put that fuel pipe back on, and hopefully once they've reached a level where she'll start the bike, it will just then continually feed it through the vacuum. That sounds a plan.